So I'm up to the 1950s in the Decade series, and the trouble is that no London Underground stations opened during this decade. Carpenter's Park, however, behind me, had an original station that opened many years ago, but the current incarnation, the one you know now, on the London Overground, did open in 1952. But it's not that interesting. But then I had another idea, and that was to come to here, the site of Brockley Hill Tube Station that was never finished. 3 Northern Line extension stations which never happened and officially cancelled in October 1950. So that would have been 1950, but I came here when I did Edgware, end of the line, and I'm happy to report that all the trash, all the rubbish has now been cleared up. So that's it in terms of 1950 stations. Instead, I think we're just going to have to go straight on to the 1960s. So I've come to the next decade, the 1960s, and the 1960s tube station. This is Tottenham Hale. The 4 tube stations at the top of the Victoria Line all opened in 1968, but as I've already covered Walthamstow as the end of the line and Blackhorse Road is the least used on the Victoria Line, we're going to go to Tottenham Hale, which is also a Greater Anglia National Rail station, as we'll see in a moment. But intriguingly, did you know that Tottenham Hale is the northernmost station on the Victoria Line, as the line then curves and heads slightly south for the last 2 stations? And I'm going to start my exploration outside in an exact spot where I once stood many years before. To coin a phrase that's been said before, it's really windy. It's so windy that over there by the bus station, instead of it being a gentle bin bag blowing in the breeze, it's quite a violent bin bag blowing in the breeze. And I'm stood weirdly by this bit outside one of the National Rail entrance exits, which is only open half the time by these portholes, which makes it look like you're on board a ship. Look, you see my hair blowing in the breeze. But this is the amazing thing. I'm going to take you back, way back straight away, and I'm thrilled that I had this footage from 12 years ago, 2013, when I made my very first Secrets of the Underground. We did the Victoria Line. I've kept all the footage, obviously. And there is some footage from here, from Tottenham Hale, which I never used in the video. 2 things which I want to point out is that 1, this station was redeveloped a few years ago. It all completely changed because they upgraded the National Rail station. But it used to have this cool tower and a blue glass roof. That is no longer here, but I've got it in old footage. And then secondly, there's an old subway which doesn't exist, but I've got it on video. Yes, so here's an unseen clip of a much younger 2013 Geoff filming footage outside Tottenham Hale Station before the station was completely rebuilt and finished in 2022.
Tottenham Hale may not immediately seem like the most interesting of stations. After all, it's the place where you can catch the Stansted Express and over there go and visit IKEA. But it does have this very nice blue roof on top of the station building, and as we're about to go and see, on the Victoria Line at least, a rather unique lift.
Yeah, it's mad to think this huge building here, it just wasn't here. All of this was the entrance to Tottenham Hale, and you could get from one gate line to the other. Sorry, there was just the one gate line. You could transfer from the tube to the National Rail without crossing a gate line. Ah, the wind! Now, there's 2 separate gate lines. But what I have to show you, look at the wind, is around the corner.
I go round the side of the station to Ferry Lane, where I'm in search of an old entrance to Tottenham Hale. It's one of those things where if you hunt back on old Google Street View images, you can see where it used to be, but the entrance is now gone, taken away when the station was redeveloped.
And that entrance is here, this bit where it's all covered up. This used to be steps down into the subway, and I'm thinking you probably wouldn't fill in an entire subway, so under the road there is probably like an empty corridor with old newspapers and, you know, soda cans just still like blowing about. There must be like a secret door into that passage somewhere, but here there were steps down, and I have footage of it from 2013, unused Secrets of the Underground footage, and I'm delighted that I have it.
I'm still not sure why I recorded this. I'm glad that I did though. Possibly it was just to say, here's an entrance to Tottenham Hale that you might not know about, and now that it's been filled in and is no longer there, I can simply say, here's an entrance to Tottenham Hale that you never knew existed and probably never used. There's still a footpath down to the side of it though, where you can see this graffitied wall, and this corner section is the roof of the old subway, proving that it's still down there. The bus station immediately outside the station was also redeveloped, and I'm a big fan of its roof. Bus station roofs in London often go underappreciated, so I'm just making note of Tottenham Hale's one. And it was also during the redevelopment work that lots of temporary signage like this appeared, where many people noticed online that the typeface used was the Calibri font and not the Underground's Johnston font. So in tribute to that, I'd like to present the best anagram that we could find of Tottenham Hale in Calibri.
Now, every Victoria Line station has got its own tiled design in the bench recesses at platform level, but at Tottenham Hale there's also a huge version of it above the escalators as you go down to platform level. It's a mural by Edward Borden, which shows the ferry which used to transport passengers across the nearby River Lee. The word Hale in Tottenham comes from an old word meaning to haul, so this represents literal people and goods that were once hauled across the river by boat. It's said therefore that Tottenham Hale translates to Tottenham by the hauling place. Now, the corridors, tiles and paving slabs at Victoria Line stations are all pretty much identical. If you were to look at this crossover passage here, could you really tell me that it's Tottenham Hale without seeing a sign? A sign that is, perhaps, in need of a good clean. But Tottenham Hale does have this interesting thing which I love. Its lift. I've switched to the wide-angle lens with this one on purpose. Press the 0 button, take me from -1 to 0, because the doors at -1 level are there, but as you'll see in about 20 seconds time, the doors from when we get to 0 level, the ticket hall, are there, so it goes through an angle of 90 degrees. I can't think of any other lifts on the tube that do that. There might be some, but here at Tottenham Hale, if you want to move through 90 degrees in a lift, here's where you do it. I just like it. So into the National Rail area, which is all new and where the Greater Anglia trains run. By the way, Greater Anglia are very keen to express that for the Stansted Express, you can't use Oyster or contactless payments to Stansted Airport from here. Tottenham Hale is a popular place because people get the Victoria Line up to Tottenham Hale to get the Stansted Express from here, but you must buy a regular ticket. You can't use Oyster or contactless. So there are signs everywhere telling you not to tap in here because you can't tap out when you get to Stansted Airport.
Platform 3 for the 1603 Stansted Express service.
I've come over to find an intriguing escalator there. That goes up from platforms 2 and 3 up to the footbridge, but there's only one escalator up. There's not an escalator down or an escalator up on that side. That reminds me of, I want to say, Sloane Square on the tube, where there are escalators up from the platform to the ticket hall level. But at least there's one on each platform. Here, there's just one. Why is there only one escalator? Greater Anglia, why is there just one escalator to take you from the southbound up to the footbridge and then over? Anyway, I have in there mentioned platform numbers, and that makes me want to just delve into the intriguing reason as to why there is no platform 1 here at Tottenham Hale. Yeah, so at this point, I got strangely obsessed about this for some reason, and did my research on my phone to confirm what I thought was the case. Platform 1 here used to be the southbound platform, and platform 2 used to be the northbound service. But when the station was upgraded, it was given a new track and a new platform when the services to Meridian Water, 2 stops up the line, started. And platforms 1 and 2 here got renumbered to 3 and 4 instead, and platform 2 became the new platform. And platform 1? No. There isn't one, just doesn't exist. And I suddenly wanted to check to see if this was the same at Northumberland Park and Meridian Water as well. Hence, going for a train ride. Yeah, Meridian Water, it's the same. It comes in on platform, I'm just checking. It comes in on platform 2. There is no platform 1. I did know that because I came here on opening day, but worryingly, shockingly, because I think it's 6 years ago now, I haven't been to Meridian Water since it opened, which was 2019, so that was 6 years ago. So again, space for platform 1 over there. Isn't there some vague plan that Crossrail 2 might eventually come up this way, and that's what the extra platform might have been for? Anyway, Tottenham Hale and Northumberland Park and Meridian Water have platforms 4, 3 and 2, but no 1. And that's pretty much everything you need to know about Tottenham Hale. And I'm back to where I started, outside the gate line at Tottenham Hale, and where I was 12 years ago on Secrets of the Victoria Line, and I'm wearing the same t-shirt because I still had it in my wardrobe and I remembered to wear it this morning. That is it, that is Tottenham Hale, the Victoria Line from the 1960s, decade series, working our way through. Sorry about the 1950s, maybe if I can think of a 1950s to do, I'll do it as an extra bonus video at some point if I come up with a better idea. Thanks for watching, see you in the next video.